Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Isaac King EK, and I'm going to be taking you on a series. I titled this one Spirit and Marriage. Spirit and Marriage. Okay, so just follow me gradually, and I will expose a few things to you, and I believe it will be of help, of immense help to you and your loved ones. Okay, you're welcome. All right, spirit. Okay, I have my definition of spirit. Spirits are extracelestial bodies that dwell in an abstract dimension or parallel dimension with us. All right, in an abstract dimension or a parallel dimension with ours. Okay, so those are spirits. Now the categories. I had to categorize them. Okay, on the category you have spirit of humans, what you call ghost. Okay, the spirit you see here and there, what you call ghost. And then the next one is ancestors. Ancestors are your forefathers in your genealogy, in your family line, your bloodline. Ancestors. Then you have next to it, wandering spirits. Wandering spirits are lost souls. All right, wandering spirits. Some spirits that are not at rest, wandering here and there. Some of them are very hostile. Some of them are very, very offensive. Okay. The next one on that list is Nephilims. Nephilims are sons and and daughters of fallen angels. In the book of Genesis chapter 6, it's recorded that there was an intercourse. All right, in the scriptures. Okay, and then they take forms of animals. So it's not like this, the animals have spirits and souls. No, those Nephilims take forms of animals. If you study about the Nephilims in ancient Egypt, they were gods, giants. With some of them with heads of birds, some of them heads of different forms and different animals. So those are Nephilims. Okay. Then after that is demons. All right, demons, demons, fallen angels. Then afterwards you have the angels, then you have the Most High. Now these things are extracelestial beings. They are existing. Never allow anyone fool you that they don't exist. Okay. Now marriage is a union of two parties conducted by them or for them. Marriage is a union of two parties conducted by them or for them. Now let me explain that for you. By them, like you enter into the contract, or someone by virtue of power or over you and all of that will forcefully conduct or unconsciously conduct such marriages on you. All right. Now that takes me to the spiritual and the physical. Sometimes you wonder, when you say someone has a spirit wife or spirit husband, you'll be wondering, how did they get this marriages? How did this happen? I was not aware. Some people tell you, I didn't do it, and I know, but someone did it for you. So you have to be very aware. Okay, just follow me. Okay, I have a lot to tell you. So I wrote here, both humans and spirits have always conducted marriages in the past. Like I quoted in Genesis chapter 6 from verse 1 to 4, it will tell you how the angels, the celestial beings, had to marry daughters, and started having children. They were giants, and those became Nephilims, and they performed a lot of terror here on earth before the flood. Okay, and don't forget that after the flood, some survived, but as spirits, not in a body form. Okay. All right, that's it. So, and I wrote here, marriage is very important for both physical man and the spiritual man. Revelation chapter 19 from verse 6 to 9 will tell you about the marriage of the Lamb. So that is to say that even in the spiritual there is a marriage, just a union. That's why he calls us his bride. Okay. So there's something about marriage that we need to understand that applies to the physical and the spiritual. People make the statements like, there's no marriage in heaven, there's no this, there's no that. No, then in the spiritual, there is marriage. Okay? Likewise in the physical, because it's very, very important. The next one here is, for any man to take dominion in any territory, marriage must be conducted. In the past, for people to conquer nations or to have alliance with nations, they marry. Kings marry from other kingdoms. All right, that's in the physical realm. Now, in the spiritual, if you must, if a particular kingdom wants to penetrate another kingdom, they do it by marriage. Let me explain that to you. Sometimes you see some people, they say they married someone from the Marine Kingdom or something, from the Serpentine or from witchcraft and all of that. Now, you'll be wondering, how is that possible? Yes, they had people that have been initiated in such kingdoms. So for them to penetrate a particular society, or a particular lineage, or a particular bloodline, they would bring people that have already been initiated in that kingdom into that bloodline by marriage. That's the only legitimate way they can enter. Okay? By marriage. Right? I wrote here, I said, when two people marry, they combine both ancestral and human spiritual covenant. Now, let me explain that. You have your own family covenant, and then you marry another person with another family covenant. Now, when you marry, the both family covenants they merge together. That's why sometimes you see some people, they keep, finding themselves around certain circle of people. Be careful, because you might end up in a covenant that will alter or fill your own covenant. The reason why people marry certain people that are better off than them in one area or the other is so that they can change certain covenants. You don't have to marry or mix yourself with some kind of covenants that will mar your own future or the future of your children. All right, you have to be very careful and very sensitive to who you align covenants with. And then don't forget, if you're from a very strong ancestral background, be careful not to marry someone with equally a very strong negative ancestral background, because it's like you continuing and strengthening the ancestral background. If you're from an occultic ancestral background, try not to marry someone from another occultic ancestral background, vis-a-vis like that. Okay? All right? I'm going to be very fast. Now, I outlined a few things for this particular video. I said the blessings of a physical marriage. Now, when you marry, there are certain things that happens. Firstly, open doors. Open doors. Secondly, you command legal authority. Now, when you're bonded with someone legally in marriage, you have right over certain spiritual authorities, over their life and your life. Okay? So that's why when you make decisions, it works. Why? Because there's a legal backing. And then don't forget, that legal backing comes from the parent of whom you're marrying. Now, when you're going to pick a wife as a man, the parent of the lady would have to bless you. The moment the blessing happens, authority is being given. Authority is being given. That's where the blessing is. Okay? Now, you build spiritual alliance with your partner. I think I explained that already. You build spiritual alliance with your partner. You start a strong force. Now, the offspring that comes out of that marriage builds a very strong force. Builds a very strong force. Okay? The last one here is you conquer more grounds in your lives. 1 shall chase 1,000 and 2 shall chase 10,000. It's a very odd mathematics. Yes, it can only happen in marriage. Why? Because two ancestral forces join together. When you have one ancestral force that is stronger than the other, one will overpower the other. Just like the scripture says, the lesser is blessed by the greater. Now, I'll say this finally. The danger of spiritual marriage. The danger of spiritual marriage. You close doors for anyone who helps you. People who have spiritual wives or spiritual husbands. Now, I have to go back to where I started. Now, you have human spirit. Okay, let me be specific. You have human spirit, you have ancestral spirit. Now, some of those marriages are conducted for some people when maybe the parents are looking for children and they give some allegiance to some deities, sometimes their ancestry, and they say, if you give me a child, all right, I'll give you this in return. Okay, now they move down to the Nephilims. They move down. That's why you see some people with some certain level of possession. They act in like with some animals. You see someone act like a dog, someone act like a bird, like a horse, like a serpent. Yes, because they have given allegiance to those Nephilims represented by those animals, and then their children will serve those things. Now, those things determine what happens to you. If they give wealth, you take wealth. If they don't give wealth, you don't take wealth. And they decide what happens to your chain. Why? Because you have been married to that particular spirit, to that particular deity. Okay? Now, that's very difficult, because when that is conducted for you, you have to find out certain things. I'll say that in the next series on how to separate yourself from such deities. Now, you have to be very careful, because by certain statistics, 80% out of 100% of women in Nigeria have one or two complications. Only 20% are free, one or two complications. And out of the 80%, about 45 to 50% have this spirit complications, spirit husband, spirit wife. All right. Now, I'm going to teach that in the next series. Now, I said the first thing, you close doors for anyone that is coming. Now, the moment you have that spiritual complication, anyone that comes in contact with you and helps you, things start to go wrong for them, because the spirit start to block those things, because only the spirit determines what happens to you. You have seasonal favors. Your favors come off and on. Sometimes you don't have nothing at all. You keep going in circle. That's one basic thing that happens to people that have the spiritual marriages. You keep going in circles. You never have a stable relationship. Now, you see some of these people, very hostile, but very beautiful, but they never have a stable relationship. Okay? You keep having constant mood swings. Now, that is caused basically by the spirit husband, okay, and perhaps the spirit wife. Those mood swings and all of that, most of the time, is being caused by such spirits and such deities. I'm going to be continuing the next series. Click on the next video to have other informations about this spirit and marriage. Thanks for watching. I love you.